Hi, welcome to OMAT. I'm glad you're here. We're going to get into 8 essential exercises, working them 1 minute at a time. I just want to say a quick personal thing, and it's that I've been feeling pretty lonely recently. There's been a lot of changes in my life, and the loneliness, that kind of feeling, I could tend to spiral into overwhelm, and it becomes a very sad place. But I've learned to manage my emotions a little bit better. And with that, for my loneliness, I am doing unlonely things. Now, I'm in a new city. It makes sense that I feel lonely. There aren't any friends within miles. So my unlonely things to do here are talk to people in line. I've been making conversations with neighbors. I joined groups. I'm also doing the things that was working before, keeping in touch with people that I have become friends with. And even if it's inconvenient, seeing them and making sure that I do it virtual or otherwise. And next week, I'm joining a bunch of strangers who opened their group to anyone who wants to walk the city with them. And I am super excited about this and super terrified. And I think that's basically how I feel that life is. Super exciting, super terrifying. Could be that any day. So let's see what life is about. Wish me luck. Let's go. Let's get into our program right here, which is OMAT, 1 minute at a time. And for this minute, let's get present. Maybe you get present while I'm talking. That's a great time. If you haven't, maybe roll your shoulders back and down, changing your physical being, possibly changing your mind as well. And as we get into our practice, into being here, we can get into our first exercise of gratitude. Gratitude shows me the stuff that I don't need to be lonely about. Yes, I can be lonely. I can feel lonely. I could wake up lonely. I can go to sleep lonely. I could have lonely moments throughout the day. But there are also other emotions that happen. And looking for the gratitude helps me find that I'm also experiencing other things. That's important. Well-rounded feelings I can deal a little bit more with and come from a more logical place in life. So let's look for logically what could we be grateful for right now? Let's wrap for now. Find the water. And when I practice gratitude, when I actively practice gratitude, I am warming up this muscle. I'm making that muscle strong so that when throughout the day that negativity starts coming in, I at least in the back of my mind, and it comes to the front, I know that I'm wrong. I know that there's never absolutely nothing to be grateful for. That's a mindset. Let's keep going into our meditation. Speaking of our mind, can we turn off the thoughts that we don't want to listen to in our mind? Do we have that strength? Let's strengthen that muscle, that decision of what's happening in our mind right now. Do I get to decide what I'm about to think about? And that's what we're practicing here. Think about your inhale and exhale. Think about relaxing your muscles, but don't think of that thing that you have been burdened with that needs to happen later. Decide what you're going to think about. Let's sit in any comfortable position, eyes opened or closed. Breathe. As we come back, let's find the water. And that was our attempt to try to stop thinking about things that we needed to break from and work the muscles of the thoughts that we do want to have a little bit of an easier grasp on when it's time. Let's go into our writing. What are we going to write? You can write that sentence. You can write, I don't know what to write. I hate this writing part. I don't want to do it. You can write all of that stuff. That might lead into other thoughts, or it might stay there. It does not matter what it leads to. Let's look for any word to write and write it right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding the water. And is there a thought that you wrote that you really shouldn't even be thinking? Don't shit all over yourself and keep moving. Let's go into our yoga. We're going to stretch it out. What are we going to stretch out? Whatever you are willing to move today for now. Let's get up. If we can get up, I'm going to walk us through a sun salutation. We start by inhaling the arms up. Nice deep inhale. And if you're sitting, you could still do this. Look up, reach up. If only one arm works, raise that one arm. And fold forward, hanging over our feet, rounded back. Relax your head, maybe by shaking it no or yes. And when you're ready, halfway lift, flat back. Your back is now parallel to the ground. When you're ready, plant your palms down. We're getting into a high plank. Step your feet back and lower all the way down. The front of your body is now down on the ground. Push your palms against the ground and your chest comes up, head comes up, look up. And let's meet in down dog. Hips up into an upside down V with your body, getting your heels as close to the ground as you can. And then walking your feet towards your hands. Start rising up. Meeting your palms above the head. And exhaling them down to the center of the chest. Maybe holding it there. I do like to hold it there at the end. If that feels good, great. If you want to move on, let's have some water. Excuse me. And having water helps us move on. We've already physically done something different. We're on the other exercise. We are ready to plank. We got our bodies a little bit warm. We were in the plank pose for just a moment. Let's decide that we do have the strength for this. We are willing and we're going to go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're planking right now. We're going to conjure up the strength. Come on up into this plank and stay there. That's 10 seconds. I know every second in here counts. How are you counting it in your head? Are you grunting? Or can you take the pain out of your face? That's 20 seconds. As it gets more challenging, you have the time to experience your own mind. What's going on in there for 30 seconds? Are you yelling at yourself? Does that work? Does gently talking to yourself work? Does cheerleading for yourself work? What works for the next 20 seconds? Conjuring that energy up. Sometimes I do need to grunt. Sometimes I relax into the pose somehow. And with 10 seconds, continue to find that strength. And you can't see it on the outside, but you're feeling that generation coming up. 3, 2, 1, and you're done. Generating the strength. Come on down off your plank. Stretch your way back. Find your water. And find a way to say, hey, this is how I feel. I'm glad I went up into that plank pose, even for just a moment. I saw what it's like. Sometimes we have to try it before we decide we don't want to do it, can't do it. So give yourself a little bit of credit and let's move on. Let's take that generating that energy into this procrastination exercise. We cannot write a whole book. We can't build a whole house, but we could do a dish. We could brush our teeth for 1 minute. We could pick up something off the floor, throw out something on our desktop. We could make the most minor change. And then we get to see how I start working and how I can stop. Let's take that experiment. Do any task right now. Let's wrap for now. And we are practicing that muscle of starting and stopping, finding satisfaction, finding water, and finding your way out of this exercise into the next one. We do need to connect. I told you earlier how I am finding ways to connect with new people in a new city, stay connected with people in the old city and people that I've met before. This is the warm-up, and the warm-up is life. Let's look for a way to connect, saying hello, saying I miss you, saying I'm thinking about you, saying anything. Let's try it right now. Let's wrap for now. Finding water. Finding that sometimes it is easy to connect, and sometimes we have to generate a little bit more energy in order to reach out, say something, feel vulnerable. And that's what it's like for today, for now. Let's keep going. Let's finish off with a little bit of energy. Put some energy into an exercise, walk around, dance around, jump around. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Move your body. You have access to be able to move in any way. Make sure that you exercise those muscles that you have. That's 10 seconds. And what could 1 minute of exercise do? It proves to you that you get going when it's time to go and you can stop when it's time to stop. That's 20 seconds in. You're also finding ways to conjure up energy to do the things that are useful for your body and mind. And if you could feel good about that, great. For 30 seconds, keep generating that energy. And you could maybe find the energy for other things that you're a little hesitant but find useful throughout the day. 20 seconds left. We are almost at the countdown. How much more energy can you put into this just for today for the final 10 seconds here? Let's finish as strong as our body and mind will allow, just for today, just for now, just for 3, 2, 1, and you're done. And we moved through 8 different exercises. How does that feel? Thank you for taking OMAT.